Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Eddie here, Eddie Makes Art. And today I'm going to do a little experimenting with these Stabilo Woodies. These are 3-in-1 crayons that I saw Elizabeth St. Hilaire, the artist, use in one of her videos. And I was so I'm like, I gotta have those. I gotta have those. So I got me a little set. This is just a basic set. They do come in larger sets, I believe, and then individual colors as well, like I think a gold. But I got a basic set here, which is great. It's got some great colors. And then it comes with its own sharpener, which is perfect. And so I did a little experimenting this afternoon, and I came up with some cool stuff. So what I did was I just picked out a bunch of different papers that I had, different types of papers like mixed media papers, regular paper. I even did something on the gel plate. But let me go through them and I'll show you what my favorite was. And I'm going to use some foam stamps, and these are from PM Artist Studio. These are my own foam stamps from PM Artist Studio. This is Unraveling Squares, and this is Cinco Círculos. And they are available now at pmartiststudio.com. I'll have all that information in the description box. And what I did first is I used the eye stamp with the woodies on some white mixed media paper. Let me show you what that looks like. And this is 130-pound paper, white, obviously. So what I did was, and because I'm using it as a watercolor, I'm going to wet my stamp a little bit, and then I will color it in, and then then I'll spray it again and do an impression of it. So let's just get started with it. And you don't need a ton of water. I suggest just a little sprayer. A little mister here. And let's see, let's do some different colors than the other one. So let's see, let's do some orange eyelashes. And you see how nice that comes off? Very, very nice and bright, very easy to work with. And let's give it a green eyes, or eye. All right, and then how about let's do blue for the lower lashes. Okay, that should be enough. Oh, you know what? Let's do the center. We'll just do it black. How about that? Now you see my stamp isn't soaking wet. I just spritzed it a little bit, and then I'm gonna spray it again. A couple of spritzes there. And then hold it down. Give it a little press, nothing crazy. And basically what I'm looking for is a cool watercolor effect. Now, this is the first stamping. As you can see, it does a great job. It's really cool. You kind of get some little watercolor sort of look and action going. I'll spray it one more time, and let's see what the second impression looks like. See, it's almost the same. Maybe, yeah, pretty much the same. So it does hold the pigment well, and but they're easy to clean. So this is not like an acrylic paint where it's going to dry up on your stamp and then ruin your stamp. These are water reactive, so you can just rinse them off in the sink, or give it a bath. Now I took a brush with some water on the other one and just kind of went around and tried to move some of that. And it's not as effective on the watercolor on this mixed media paper. I mean, I'm getting some movement here, as you can see, but not a lot, but you can still give it a cool, See, this one has more of the crayon, so there's more movement going on. see. So you can do all kinds of cool stuff like that. So that's the mixed media paper. And then I have the black mixed media paper, which I thought would be fun. Here, let's do my stamp here. This is the Unraveling Squares. And let's do some colors that are gonna stand out on the black, obviously. So I'm just gonna give this a quick spritz. I just washed a bunch of these, so they're still a little bit wet, so I don't need a ton of water on them. How about we do, and these blend well, you can blend them right on the stamp. So let's start with some white. Ooh, it is raining like crazy outside. I'm on the East Coast, so a lot of you folks on the East Coast know what I'm talking about, or the Northeast. Mucho Muchereno. And see, they blend very well. Let's give this is, what do they call this one? Give me a name, guys. There's no name. It's like it's a teal. I'd say that's teal or turquoise. It's probably on the box and I just didn't read it. All right, we get that. And then how's about we do some lime green? This green is really good. I wish I had the darker green too. That would be fun to mix. And then what about at the bottom one we can do? Let's do the orange, because that'll stand out nice on the black paper. And this black paper is a Strathmore mixed media paper. It's 300 GSM. So it's got a nice, it's nice and thick. Okay, that's good enough. I think that's good. Maybe a little bit more white up here. Nice and bright. All right, again, just quick couple of spritzes with some plain H2O, and let's see what it does. Now, I'm not pressing super hard, just enough to get an impression. But look how that's so cool. Isn't that great? Now let's do a little bit more water. Let's see. Press. And see, it's almost similar, but it takes it well. The only problem I had with the black mixed media paper is that if it's too wet, it does tend to suck in some of that pigment into the paper. I don't know why, but you can see here, kind of sucks that in there. And then I did this as well with my other experiment. Get a paper towel here. And I used the brush to try to move it along, or move it around. And I didn't find that it really did much. It kind of moves it, but not the way I really wanted it to. So I think, if you're going to use a black mixed media paper, I think just, straight out stamping it and leaving it alone is great. I mean, you can add other stuff, but as far as using the watercolor brush, I wouldn't use that. And then the other one is, now this has some mica spray on it because I was kind of futzing around with it. But this is Bristol paper. It's white Bristol paper. And as you can see, this gave more of a watercolor effect. And I even took my brush with some water and went around, and you see, it still activates. And this gives you more of that watercolor look. You get that really cool, just shading. But I'm still not, like super impressed by the Bristol paper for that, but it's an option, right? And then the next thing I did was, I was like, how about on the gel plate? Let's try something on the gel plate. So like for this one, I I drew on the paper with the woodies, and then I tried to transfer it onto the gel plate with some paint, acrylic paint, and it really didn't transfer. But if you take a wet towel, you know, slightly damp, not soaking wet, and you rub some of that paint off, you get to the pencil below, and it shows up like that. So you can get some cool effects like that. And then this one, it transferred a tiny, tiny bit. I did it with the black paint. It transferred a little bit, but wiping off some of that paint, I got this really cool design here. It shows up really well. And then this one, I tried it for the third time. I went heavier on the woody, and I just kept adding more, and it really didn't transfer again. However, with the wiping with the towel, it does pull up that paint, and it reveals just really cool textures and stuff from below, and I thought that was really neat. It's almost like the scratch technique when you put down a bunch of crayon on a paper, you cover it with black crayon, and then you use a sharp tool to scratch out a design on it. So it's similar to that, but I think that has a lot of possibilities. Keep playing around with that. Next, I tried it on Carnival tissue. This is the wet strength tissue. And I got, you know, it's decent. It's not terrible. This is a starfish. Is that a starfish? No, that's a seashell. Could be a starfish, I don't know. Anyway, it's a Peanut Butter Studio stamp. Now, the reason I have this is because when I started using the paper, the stamping on the tissue, it bled through to my mat, which is fine, it's silicone mat. So I said, well, you know what, let me put some paper underneath, and this is, you know, the bleed through. So that's pretty cool. So if you're using tissue, there you go. This is just cleaning up my stamp earlier. And then I did the B here, and I stamped it off. I was trying to clean off my stamp, so I wet it with some water and just kept stamping it off. But I think those are pretty cool. And then last but not least, I did rice paper. I had some rice paper, and I really liked what it does in the rice paper. So which one? Okay, so this was my first one. I did the eyes, and this is like first press, second press, and then third press with the foam stamp, and got some cool looking things going on there. This one is, I think, my favorite. And then I did these here, and this turned out really well. And you see like that kind of, definitely got that watercolor effect going. And then you see my unraveling squares here. And then this is the circle of rings here. And I thought that was really, really cool, especially this one here. It definitely gives you that more watery color vibe. And then I did some more stamping over here. I just mixed black and blue on the same one with a little bit of purple, and that was pretty cool. I did a little extra water on these just to see what it would look like. It's not terrible. This isn't, you know, the best rice paper, but I think for the experiment it worked well. And over here I did a moth. And you see, you know, here was the first impression. This was the second impression, the third. And then here I added some more water to try and clean off the stamp. And that's what I got. So it's like sloppy watercolor, but I don't know. I think it turned out really well. And you see how nicely the colors mix on the stamp. I thought that was fun. And then these are just a bunch of stars. I just tried different colors to see how different colors would work, and different amounts of water. And obviously these have more water than these here. Now this has yellowish tinge to it because I stamped the red right after the yellow, and I didn't clean it off well enough, but that's okay. And this is the purple. I thought the purple turned out really well. And you can still activate it. So if you take your brush with some water, I can come in and move some of that around. You see it got a little lighter, but it's spread out more. That's cool. Okay. Now these have just finished drying. I haven't had a chance to lay them flat, so that's why they're still kind of wrinkly. But I'm going to show you. Let's do some on this white paper. Blank piece. Let me dry this up. Just having some fun and playing around on a Sunday night. That's all. Okay, so what stamp shall we use next? Let's do this one. This is the Dragonfly. This is PM Artist Studio stamp. So how about, first let me spritz this. I'm just gonna do it off camera. So I don't have a lot of room up here and I don't want to soak everything. Okay, don't need a lot of water. And come in, let's color it up really nice. This is a great shade of purple too. Do some of that. We'll maybe do some blue down here. On the wings. And then what if we do a lime green up here? And let's take some yellow and go into the spaces we haven't filled yet. And this should look pretty cool. Okay. So again, I'll spritz out some water. And then down we go. So that's just very straight up. I don't think I had enough water on there, but so let's spray it again. Let's see what we get second time around. And I haven't put any more of the crayon on. See, that's much more what I'm looking for. Is that cool effect there. And let's see. I'm going to put some more color on here. Let's try this again. Really color it up here. Give it a good layer of woodies. We got the blue. Maybe a little orange this time. Bit orange. That's a nice orange. Okay. Give it a little spritzy. Oh, that was a good one. That's a good one. Still good. Still good. Let's try another stamp. Let's try, here, let's do the leaf. The funky leaf. You know what, let me spritz this a little bit. As you can see, I'm having way too much fun here. These, let's do this aqua color, teal, whatever you want to call it. We'll do some there. How about we do some pink? We'll make this very Miami Vice. And then what other color do we want? Maybe, do we do white? Let's just do the green. Very tropical green. Mix them in here in the center. How about that? Okay. I lost my sprayer. There we go. Make sure I'm on camera. Here we go. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Very, very nice. And you see it comes through, but that's okay. And then I'm just gonna hit it with a little bit more water and see what we get. We'll do it upside down. How about that? Very nice. I like that. What other stamp do we have? Oh, this one here. And let's try the red. I haven't done the reds. So let's see here. We'll do some, gotta wet it a little bit. Let's do some red. Down the middle, maybe here on the corners and the edge. And what other? Let's do yellow. And play around, you know, play around to come with combinations with the amount you put on. That always leads to cool results, you know. That's why we play around. Just do the orange. Yeah, let's just do the orange down here. Here we are. And give it a little spritz. I hope that wasn't too much, but let's see. See, that's really cool. That's really, really good. I like it. This is spraying it again, but without adding any more pigment. Isn't that wonderful? That looks so cool. Nice. And yeah, I wanted to try it out with just maybe black and one other color. I do like the black. I do like using black, so let's see. Let me spray my stamp here. So let's see. We'll do a couple of links in black. And if you go to pmartiststudio.com and you want to purchase one of my stamps or anything else, you can use my discount code, which is EddieFan10, and that will get you 10% off your total purchase of $35 or more. How cool is that? And just tell them Eddie sent you. Go. Do this one here because we already did black on that one. Ooh, missed a spot. And then what do we have here? If we do yellow, let's do yellow. Why not? Okay. Do we like it? Oh, yeah, that's very cool. That bleeding out is really what I'm looking for. Now, Ironically enough, the only paper I didn't try was watercolor paper, mainly because I forgot. But I've got my pad handy, so maybe I'll pull that out and do a couple on there. Oh, I love this stamp. This is such a cool stamp. Let's try this. And you see, it comes right through, but that's okay. I got no room. I got no room. Okay, just gonna give that a quick wipe. Spray, and it does wipe up easy because it's water reactivated. There we go. All right. Let's go with the squares. I do like me squares. And I'm just gonna add some color on here. I'm not gonna worry about what was there before. Let's just add some color. We'll see what happens, you know, never know. And this is just a student grade watercolor paper, nothing super fancy. This is the pink. How about, let's do purple. Yeah, we'll do purple there. Do yellow. Purple and yellows go well together. Although mixing them, that'll get you in trouble. Because you can get a nice shade of brown that you may not have wanted. That's happened to me, that's why I say so. So I always keep my color wheel right by my workspace because I can refer to it whenever I want before I go mixing up colors willy-nilly. Very cool. Maybe a little more water. A little better, a little better. I'm just gonna put a little more water and some more pigment on here. So we got redwoody. We've got, what was that? Let's do teal, why not? Let's do teal. And then some yellow woody. Do orange down here. And how about some navy blue, or blue? I don't think they call this navy blue. Put my finger in it. Add some more back there. Let's give this a nice little spritz. And then I'm going to come back to these with the brush and see what happens. Oh, that's awesome. That is really, really awesome. Let me hold it up to the technology so you can see how cool that is. All right, with a little bit of water, let's see what we can do over here. Let's see what happens when we go over it. And remember, this is the watercolor paper, so this should work well. And I'm just trying to bleed out the color to give it that more moody, dreamy effect that you can get with watercolors. Put a little more on that side, see what happens. Not much movement. And once that dries, that'll probably look really cool. Go with the Maybe just pull it from the outer edge, Eddie. How about that? Interesting. Interesting. And let's try this one down here. This has a lot of pigment here. At least I think so. Looks like it, right? Yeah. Love that. I'm just tapping, trying to pull some of that color out, coax it out. Oh yeah, look at that blue. That blue's coming up nice. That's very nice. Let's try the teal now. I like this shade here. Maybe it needs a little more coaxing. Come on. Come on out. The water's fine. Ooh. Yeah, that's doing some cool stuff there. Neat. Yeah, see, this is turning up nice. Let's do, which one should we do? Another experiment with. Let's go ahead, go back to the dragonfly. This is still a lot on there, so I'm just going to spray it with some water and see what we get. How about you go right here in the center? Nice, very nice. We'll do a second impression. Let's see how this one turns out without spraying it again. Just want to see what we get there. Very nice. See, and there's still a lot left on there, so I could come back tomorrow, hit it with some water, and reuse it. I don't recommend leaving it on, for a long time. If you're like me, you wash your foamies every day, your foam stamps every day, or every time you use them. Not with ink. Ink is fine, but with the acrylic paint, you definitely want to wash them. With these, you do. But, if I use like this over here, where is it? Oh, see over here, I did this one, and I did this little stamp with the smaller version of this with the mica spray, distress spray, and it, actually, was it this one? Yeah, it was this one here. And I washed that immediately because that has little particles in it that'll stick to your stamp and ruin the surface, so you'll get, it'll dull out the detail. But I mean, that was pretty cool. That's a fun experiment. See, and this is water activated too, so you can come around and play with that a little bit. Anyway, let's see what we can do with these. Let's see if we can get some of this color in and fill in some of this white space. You see that's looking really good. Maybe if I just lay some water down and let it do its thing, it will surprise us. Try that on the bottom wings. And then on the top ones, I'll just brush over it, or, brush it. Very nice. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of doing its own thing. Very nice. How about let's try this one. Let's see how this one reacts. This had less pigment on it, but I hit it with more water. It's about the same. And you don't have to scrub at it. Tapping it works just fine. Now, the other thing I wanted to do was just kind of draw on the watercolor paper with the woodies. Let's see. Give myself a stem here. I'll do a little flower. Do some leaves. Let's do a center here. We'll give it a nice bright yellow center. And then we'll come around. Nothing fancy here. We're just playing around. I'm just going to make these a little thicker because what I want to do is see how much of that I can pull in and fill in my spaces there. So let's start with the yellow. I'll go around there. Look at that. Look at that. So you can see it all in the brush. So I can come over here and show you. So I can definitely spread that out if I wanted to. All right. And let's go for the flower. The petals here. That's lovely. Look at that. I'm going to have a lot of fun with these, that's for sure. Look at that. That's wonderful. I'm really enjoying this. Again, these are Stabilo Woodies 3-in-1 pencils. They act as a regular crayon, a wax crayon, and a watercolor. And I got these on Amazon. They weren't super expensive. I think it was about $20 for those, which those are going to last me a long time, so that is worth it. And let me take some of this yellow and see if I can blend it out. A little bit, got a little bit there. All right, let's go to the stem. And let's follow this guy all the way down. That's cool. Just give it that really just a soft touch. I know it's a super thick stem, but we're just playing around. playing around, right? Get a lot of there. And you know, you can make these lighter or darker depending on how much water and how much spreading you want. Let's go up here. I can make that a little fainter if I wanted. This one, I'm going to see what it looks like on the outside. Let's do this one outside. Very cool. Now we get some of these edges here, maybe smooth them out a little bit. You see how it's pulling out, I'm only pulling out a little bit of the pink. Try to give it like a little more of a glowing look. That looks awesome. Fun. Let's take the white. Let's do some lines. I hope that had some blue on it from earlier. Some white. See if that'll do anything for us. Oops. Nothing really. I gotta play around with the white one more to see what effects I can get with it. But overall, I really enjoy these. I think they're definitely worth it. And they work amazing with the foam stamps. So thanks so much for watching and coming along and having some fun with me today, doing a little experimenting. I hope you enjoyed this, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys soon.